Hello and welcome to the Seth Joyner Show. As excited as we were about the Eagles' performance in the win over the Saints, there was little to nothing to be excited about in Week 4 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was perplexing to say the least how this team could come out after such a great effort one week and look totally lost the next. It's time for my breakdown. I'm at a loss for where to actually begin. The Eagles went down to Tampa and seemed to have forgotten all the good things they accomplished the week before. Working against them was the absence of three of their best players, Lane Johnson, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. But in my opinion, it was a great opportunity for their backups to showcase why they held a roster spot. The biggest question mark at this time is the regression of Jalen Hurts. He looked ill-prepared and unsure of what he was trying to accomplish during the game. The play calling by Kellen Moore left much to be desired as well. Players must execute the game plan each week, but it's also up to the coaching staff to put them in position to succeed. The Eagles offense went 3 and out 4 of their 5 first-half possessions and amassed an unimaginable 0 yards through the first quarter. Saquon Barkley had 8 touches in the entire first half, and Jalen either lacked the confidence in his wide receiver backups or was totally confused by the defensive looks that Tampa Bay was presenting him. I've been one of his biggest supporters and believers, but I'm starting to teeter and wonder why he's been less than adequate over the last 11 games. His turnover woes continue, and while it's admirable that he accepts responsibility for the offensive struggles, his quote each week that he needs to get better is getting old fast. It's time for action in getting better and less talking about it in his post-game pressers. The heat will only continue to get hotter with each passing game he continues to turn the football over and fail to efficiently and effectively kick this offense into high gear. Kellen Moore also needs to figure out what identity this offense will embody. Are they going to be a run team that sets up the pass off the run game, or are they going to rely on Hurts to carry the load passing the football? Saquon is too valuable of an asset to ignore, and in back-to-back games, they have ignored him in respective first halves. Although I am not in the fire Nick Sirianni camp, he has to figure things out and give this team some direction as the head coach and CEO. He looks as lost and confused on game days and in his press conferences as his team does. His seat is getting hotter with each passing week, if not in the minds of Jeffrey and Howie, certainly in the minds and opinions of the fans and media. On the defensive side of the football, the play versus Tampa Bay was even worse. After a stellar performance versus the hot New Orleans Saints, they looked like a totally different unit altogether. The two linchpins of the defense, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, reverted to Week 2's level of play. They were both non-factors versus the Bucs. I know some people will blame the scorching heat in Tampa Bay, but the Bucs team had to play under the same conditions and played as if it was sunny and 75 degrees. I will state it again. They have to be the keys to the success of this defense. That's an uncompromisable fact. The play of the linebackers, safeties, and slot corner follow suit. They were ineffective all day, missing tackle after tackle. 18 total missed tackles on the day, and were out of position on run and pass plays all day. As a unit, the defense looked ill-prepared, a step slow, and lacked aggression all afternoon. While Quinyon Mitchell continues to get better each and every week, Darius Slay looks slow, passive, and disinterested at times, especially when it comes to tackling ball carriers. Like the offense, the player's job is to execute. It's Vic Fangio's job to get them prepared, motivated, and put them in position to succeed. His game plans have been Jekyll and Hyde from week to week. One week is aggressive, the next week is ultra passive. They made Baker Mayfield look like the reincarnation of Tom Brady. After being sacked 12 times in the previous 3 games, Fangio had to know that the game plan for Baker would be to get the ball out of his hands fast. With the cornerbacks aligned 8 to 10 yards off the ball all day, Baker shredded the Eagles' defense with the quick passing game. Play after play after play, and Fangio never adjusted his defensive game plan to what Tampa was doing. I understand that Evans and Godwin are really good wide receivers, but you cannot play the game from a position of fear or give your opponent so much respect that you're afraid to challenge him. Fangio has got to make up his mind whether this defense is going to be aggressive or passive, and we all saw that passive is just not the answer. The method by which a DC game plans and calls plays determines the posture and mindset of his defense. Passivity incites fear and an unaggressive mindset, while an aggressive posture instills confidence and an aggressive mindset. What is their identity going to be? It has wavered from week to week throughout the first 4 games of the season, and we will see how they adjust because it's an adjustment league. That's my breakdown. When I come back, we'll take a deeper dive into the Birds and discuss what they need to get back on track versus the Browns.
It's happening again. Those missed tackles are starting to stack up. Your friends pleading with players who can't hear them, sweating it out week after week. But not you. Why? Because whether they score or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx app. New casino users score up to $1,000 bonus back in their first 24 hours.
Most people don't know how to get the care they need. The experts at Stay at Home Care can help. Before choosing a caregiver or family member for your care, you need to apply for the Home Care Program. The application process can be complicated. Stay at Home Care can help you navigate through every step. Once approved, your caregiver or family member will receive guaranteed weekly pay, a variety of medical benefits options, paid holidays, paid vacation, and overtime pay. Call Stay at Home Care, here to help every step of the way.
I'm in that mode. Stick to the code. I'm in my zone. Let's go. I'm back in my bag. I'm wrecking the wins and it's making them.
You've got your Sunday obsession, and we got you. Now with Verizon, get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV on us and get every out-of-market Sunday game. Plus $800 off Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. Only on Verizon.
See you Sunday.
At Pond Lehocky Giordano, we understand the impact an injury can have on your life. Our experienced attorneys have recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we know we can do the same for you. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured at work, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Since 1893, Weber Display and Packaging has been Pennsylvania's leading manufacturer of corrugated packaging and displays. We're family-owned with 4 Philadelphia locations, 2 converting facilities, a warehouse, and a fulfillment center. Designed through delivery, we exceed customer needs. Weber Display and Packaging. Our core values drive everything we do. Come, join our team.
This segment is brought to you by Pond Lehocky. Welcome back. The early bye week was a godsend for this team. They should get Lane, AJ, and Devontae back, which should alleviate some of their issues. It should also give Sirianni and his staff ample time to settle on who they're going to be moving forward and what their identity is going to be. I know that most people do not believe that you pay a franchise quarterback what the Eagles are paying Jalen Hurts to be a game manager. But I'm of the opinion that they need to do just that for a time. The Eagles have one of the biggest and best offensive lines in the NFL, and they need to lean on that line to become more of a smash-mouth run-first team. Saquon Barkley gives them the opportunity to do just that. The passing game should be coordinated off the run game, with points of emphasis on short to intermediate passing. Every team desires explosive plays and attacking down the field. But the fact of the matter is that you have to earn that by running the football and taking what the defense gives you in the passing game first until those opportunities present itself downfield. Move the chains, pick up first downs, and put yourself and your franchise quarterback in position to get back on track. I wonder at times whether Sirianni is inserting his ideals about how the offense should operate, or is this Kellen Moore's philosophy? What I do know is that what they've tried over the first 4 weeks of the season has been inconsistent and oftentimes ineffective, more times than not. And some changes need to happen. The game plan needs to be to help Jalen find his confidence and his footing as soon as possible, or this thing could get out of hand really fast. In my opinion, there are zero reasons for this offense to be as ineffective as it has. They have far too many weapons and way too much talent for this to be the norm. On the defensive side of the football, the two big guys in the middle have to figure out how to play like pros each and every week. They simply cannot alternate between good games one week and taking it off the next. Fangio has made some great adjustments from week 2 to 3, particularly in the run game. But other teams will look at the Tampa Bay game and use that as a blueprint for how to attack this defense and defeat it. In my opinion, the pass rush is going to be a problem all year. They're just not talented or good enough to generate consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks on passing downs. The cornerbacks and safeties need to play more press coverage more often, and to compensate for the lack of pass rush, Fangio is going to have to be much more creative about bringing pressure and blitzes at opposing quarterbacks and give the overall defense a chance to play much more aggressively. I sense that if the philosophy is to create explosive plays on the offensive side of the ball, then the philosophy on the defensive side of the ball must be to prevent the big plays. The problem is that the more passive you are on the defense, the less likely you are to force and create turnovers. And the Eagles are one of the worst teams in the National Football League at forcing turnovers. Another problem is that this team lacks playmakers. That being the case, the defensive coordinator simply has to create opportunities and put his players in position to make those big plays. Special teams have been pretty solid over the last year and through the first 3 games of this season. Now they seem to be regressing with week 4's muff punt and the running into the punt returner. In my opinion, all is not lost. The coaching staff has time to right the ship and get this team back on track. The bye week is an opportunity to self-scout and self-reflect for the coaches and players alike. With 13 games still left on the schedule, we will see if Sirianni can lead this team in the right direction and motivate them to turn things around before this turns into a repeat of the last 7 games of the 2023 season. Up next, Brad Feinberg joins the show to talk fantasy and betting picks for Week 6.
You've got your Sunday obsession, and we got you. Now with Verizon, get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV on us and get every out-of-market Sunday game. Plus $800 off Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. Only on Verizon.
See you Sunday.
This is Parks. Parks, Pennsylvania's #1 casino experience. This is how you win.
And the next thing I knew, I woke up in a hospital bed.
Has a friend ever told you a story about an accident and someone says,
you should probably sue them.
forget your friend. Call Ponley Hockey Giordano.
We're an injury law firm that's recovered billions of dollars for our clients.
And with our vast network of attorneys throughout the country, we know we can do the same for you.
So if you've been injured in an accident, give Ponley Hockey a call.
One conversation is all it takes, and you won't pay a dime until we win.
Get peace of mind, try certified at DavisCertified.com.
How do you make sure your next vehicle purchase is a quality vehicle priced right? Go to DavisCertified.com.
Every Davis certified pre-owned vehicle has a 60-day, 2,000-mile powertrain warranty, plus 2 years of free oil changes, a 3-day exchange policy, and a free Carfax report.
Get peace of mind, try certified at DavisCertified.com.
At Revolution X, we know that fortunes are made in times of uncertainty. Are you selling your investment real estate? Are you interested in deferring your tax with a 1031 exchange? At RevX, we're experts in 1031 exchange planning and the use of passive real estate options using DSTs. Not in the midst of an exchange and want to invest in real estate but don't know where to start? Revolution X has institutional grade real estate options for any size investor right now. Set up a consultation at RevXWealth.com. RevX, defer the tax, maximize the gain.
This segment is brought to you by Bet Parks. Welcome back. Brad Feinberg is here to help you with your fantasy lineup and betting picks for Week 6. Follow Brad at Brad's Best Bets on X. Brad, how do you feel about the Birds' chances of bouncing back?
Listen, Seth, I got to love their chances to bounce back, and the reason is their opponent. The Cleveland Browns look like the most hapless team maybe in all of football. Is that crazy? Deshaun Watson, man, the guy cannot play a lick. I'm sure they're regretting letting Joe Flacco go. If they can't win this game, Seth, then something is seriously wrong. I think the Eagles definitely win this game. I would be shocked if they lost it. I'm also expecting, at least as of today, Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown to play in this game. I think this Cleveland team is an utter train wreck. I say the Eagles absolutely win this game.
All righty, Brad. After 5 weeks, the cream starts to rise to the top in the National Football League, and the contenders and the pretenders begin to emerge. Who do you like this week from a betting perspective?
Look, I'm going to give you 4 games that I like, and I'm going to start off with the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the Falcons, to me, are a team that, look, they're not great, but at least I know what they are. They played the toughest schedule in the NFL, and they have a winning record with that, right? And they're facing Carolina Panthers team to me that just stinks. I know Andy Dalton played well against the Raiders, but laying less than a touchdown, I think that line should be at least a touchdown. I'm going to say give me Atlanta laying the 5.5, even up to 6 points. I'm fine with that. Game I love, and it's funny, the Jets just fired Robert Saleh, which I think is going to be a boost. Anytime you get the coach fired, I think that's a huge advantage. I think the Jets win this game. You're getting 3 points against the Bills team. Do we even know the Bills are good? I'm not even so sure they're good. I'm really not. They're getting a ton of respect. I think unwarranted respect. Give me the Jets +3 in a game. I think it's at least 50-50. I think the Jets are going to win it, but give me 3 points on top of it. Absolutely, I'm signing up for that. Next, Steelers-Raiders. You're going to laugh at this one, Seth. I think it's going to be a huge home field advantage for the Steelers. Steelers Nation will be going crazy in this one. I have a great coach in Tomlin against an organization that just looks like it's an utter chaos, kind of like Cleveland and me and the Raiders. I think Pittsburgh, again, not going to be a blowout, but they get it done. I think they're going to have the home field, which sounds crazy, but I expect all the crowd to be rooting for Pittsburgh, and I love their head coach. I say he rallies them after that tough loss to Dallas. And the last game I'm going to give you, Seth, and this one may surprise you, I'm going to give you the Ravens over Washington Commanders laying 6.5 points. From a matchup perspective, I just really like this for Baltimore. I think it's going to be hard for Washington to run the ball. And I don't think the reason I think Jaden Daniels has been so good, they've used the run to set up that pass. I don't think he's going to have that luxury in this one. I say the Ravens win this one by at least a touchdown.
Okay, on the fantasy side, who's your top players and defenses for Week 6?
Well, look, I'm going to start off with quarterback. I like Dak Prescott a lot. We know they're going to need to score against a really good Detroit team. And you know what? You can't run on Detroit on top of that. I think Dak's going to throw the ball 40-plus times, and he's not one of the highest-priced quarterbacks this week, which really surprises me. I say Dak. They may not win the game, but I say Dak gets his stats. I recommend taking Dak. Running back-wise, I'm going to take one of Dak's former teammates, Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard's played really well this year. He's played great in 4 of the 5 games, facing the 31st ranked Indianapolis Colts rush defense, not even being priced in the top 15. That's crazy to me. Give me Tony Pollard all day. Wide receiver-wise, look, we saw, Rashid Shaheed, again, he's been terrific all year. Now, Derek Carr may not play, so I may be a little bit of a risk, but I'm still going to take Rashid Shaheed, who's had 4 of his 5 games. He scored 15 more fantasy points or more. He's played really well, not being priced as a top 25 receiver. I don't get that. I say Rashid Shaheed. And then listen, from a defensive point of view, look, I know they're not a good team, but their defense has actually played well. The New England Patriots, cheapest defense on the board. And look, their Texans are missing Nico Collins. I see the Patriots may not win the game, but play decently on defense, and as the cheapest defense on the board, I'm recommending them.
All righty, what players and defenses are you fading this week?
And from a quarterback point of view, look, I talked about it. Jaden Daniels has been great, absolutely terrific. But here's the thing. Again, you cannot run on this Baltimore Ravens team. He's the second highest priced quarterback this week, behind Lamar Jackson, his counterpart in this game. I think this is going to be Jaden Daniels' worst game of the season. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball. It's going to put more pressure on him to pass. And I don't think he's going to have that kind of success this week against Baltimore. I really don't. I think this is not the right game for Jaden Daniels, and I'm not paying up as the second most expensive quarterback. Now, running back, I was almost going to take Brian Robinson, but I don't want to pick on Washington too much, Seth. So I'm going to say Los Angeles Chargers running back J.K. Dobbins. Look, J.K. Dobbins, his last 2 games, has 30 carries for 76 yards. Now he's going against an elite Denver Broncos defense, priced quite high. No, thank you. Wide receiver-wise, Zay Flowers, being priced in the top 12, we talked about it. This is a team that they play from in front. They run. I think they're going to be winning against Washington. I think we're going to see a lot of Derrick Henry, not a lot of passing. I'm fading Zay Flowers. And then defensively, Green Bay Packers. All the top defenses this week that are priced high face impotent offenses. Arizona's decent offensively. I'm not going to pay up for them. I'm fading Green Bay this week. That's my pick, Seth.
Brad, always great to get your insights. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next week. Download the BetParks app. Like me, you love to play, you play to win. You bet. BetParks. Coming up next, my closing thoughts and predictions for the Eagles versus the Browns after the bye in Week 6.
And the next thing I knew, I woke up in a hospital bed.
Has a friend ever told you a story about an accident and someone says,
You should probably sue them.
forget your friend. Call Pond Lehocky Giordano.
We're an injury law firm that's recovered billions of dollars for our clients.
And with our vast network of attorneys throughout the country, we know we can do the same for you.
So if you've been injured in an accident, give Pond Lehocky a call.
One conversation is all it takes, and you won't pay a dime until we win.
You've got your Sunday obsession, and we got you. Now with Verizon, get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV on us and get every out-of-market Sunday game. Plus $800 off Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. Only on Verizon.
See you Sunday.
Pride, passion, and persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges, from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at ronjaworskigolf.com.
It's happening again. Those missed tackles are starting to stack up. Your friends pleading with players who can't hear them. Sweating it out week after week. But not you. Why? Because whether they score or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParks app. New casino users score up to $1,000 bonus back in their first 24 hours.
Gentlemen, are you ready for a wardrobe update? Introducing Divine Nine's Custom Menswear, your clothier for truly unique, custom-made threads. With Divine Nine, you can design your own one-of-a-kind suit, jacket, slacks, shirts, golf pants, and shorts, perfectly handcrafted by our skilled artisans who will bring your vision to life. Prepare to stand out from the crowd with Divine Nine's Custom Clothier, official clothier of Seth Joyner. Custom clothing made for you.
This segment is brought to you by Verizon Communication. The Birds are back in the saddle after the bye week. I think we're all anxious to see how they respond after some time off and getting some key players back and what type of adjustments Nick Sirianni and his staff has implemented. All eyes will be on Jalen Hurts to see if he can return to form after a tough start to the season. I'm not one of those who have lost confidence in Jalen. I still like the intangibles that he brings to the table, but it's time for the franchise quarterback to start playing like the franchise quarterback. In my opinion, his struggles are a small sample size in the big scheme of things. Jalen is 3-8 over the last 11 games. He struggled through the last 7 games of last year, and it has carried over through the first 4 games of this season. That's not a case, as some believe, to begin to look towards the future for a quarterback. People forget that he lost the Super Bowl and was runner-up to Patrick Mahomes in 2022. And I know everyone wants to move on, but he got this team to 10-1 last year before the wheels came off, and it wasn't solely his fault. I expect that with the assistance of Sirianni, Moore, and the return of his two top weapons and his top tackle in Lane Johnson, he will right the ship. At least that is my hope. Defensively, Vic Fangio has to settle on what this defense is going to be and what their identity is going to be. Carter and Davis have to grow up now and assume the role of stage setters. Their play is paramount and critical to the success of this defense in every phase. If changes need to be made in personnel, now's the time to do so. Nothing motivates players more than competition, and while coaches prefer consistency among their starters, sometimes shaking things up is an effective way to motivate your players. I will die on the hill of aggressive style of play when it comes to defense. Look around the league. The best defenses challenge, attack, and apply pressure to offenses on a consistent basis. A bend but don't break approach always breaks at some point. I'm in the camp of forcing the issue rather than having the issue forced upon you. I know that coaches have to have a level of trust with their players in order to take risks and chances. But if you never put them in the fire, never apply pressure, it's impossible to create and find out who the diamonds of your defense can be and figure out who can be trusted as difference makers. Get the cornerbacks up and challenge wide receivers at the line of scrimmage. Implement some run pressures on early downs and apply pressure on quarterbacks via the blitz in order to force turnovers. Most importantly, instill confidence in your players to be a part of the reasons why you win and have success instead of playing so soft that they play passively and doubt themselves. There are only 1,696 players in the National Football League, so I'm not one who subscribes to the opinion that there are bad teams, maybe just badly run teams. The Cleveland Browns are a team in disarray, and this is a team that the Eagles can get well on, but it won't be easy. Football is a game of wills at the end of the day, and any successes that you gain will be acquired by taking it and imposing your will upon your opponent. That being said, I fully expect the Birds to come out versus the Browns breathing fire. All is not lost. We will see how this team faces and overcomes adversity. I expect for them to win this football game and get back on track. Give me the Birds 28-14. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week as we look back on hopefully a Birds win and look ahead to Week 7's matchup when the Eagles travel up to the Netherlands to take on our division rival, the New York Giants. Have a good evening, Philly, and go Birds.